Go.
All right, so my name is Macy, and this is Megan, as you probably know by now. And then we go to a school called Anastasis Academy, which is this small inquiry-based school, which really focuses on individualized learning and personalized learning. And this year, they created this pilot program called Capstone, which both Megan and I were invited to try. And fun fact, at the end of our Capstone year, we'll be earning university credits, which we're really excited for. And Megan will be explaining a little bit about Capstone.
Yeah, so Capstone allows us to go beyond our classroom learning. So if our class is giving presentations that Macy and I have already given or reading books that we've read, we go off and we have some academic literature we're reading, or we focus in on some subjects that we're interested in. Some days we do math, on Mondays we do art and Spanish, and mainly we work on our Capstone project, which we have 3 main words for it: connect, collaborate, and contribute. So right now we're trying to connect with you and kind of hear about what you're doing, and maybe we can collaborate. And so these are some of the books we've read.
And they all really revolve around one theme, which is being able to step out of the box and think differently than everyone else and think more unique.
So our first book we read was called Linchpin, and it used 2 main terms: lizard brain and inner artist. And the lizard brain is really the conventional way that the world thinks, and that everyone can really think in that way, but the inner artist is the change maker within us and changing our dreams into reality. So it talked about overcoming the lizard brain with our inner artist.
And
A lot of that going on right now.
And then the second book that we read was Systems Thinking, and it's really similar to Linchpin in terms of the concepts used. They just have different names. That's the one.
I'm just looking for the author.
Oh, David Peter Stroh. And those terms being conventional thinking versus systems thinking. And conventional thinking is a lot like the lizard brain, and there's really no unique factor to it because everyone has it. But if we're able to recognize our inner artist, we can become more like the systems thinkers. And systems thinking really revolves around being able to see the whole picture, like a whole problem, so we're able to recognize patterns that we weren't able to see before, so we can fix them more efficiently without having possible backfires, which is a really common theme in this book as well.
Yeah, and our third book that we just finished is Affluenza, and it talks about how we live in a consumer world full of patterns and habits, and how we have to break those habits. And there's constantly a void in our hearts and in the world, and we need leaders and geniuses and change makers to fix those voids, and love to fix that instead of fixing it with material and things and stuff. So that leads to our Capstone project, and like I said at the beginning, our 3 main words are connect, collaborate, and contribute. So we really try to connect with nonprofits and think of ideas of how we can contribute to what they're doing or contribute to the world, and then we try to put that awareness into action, or that inquiry into action, those questions.
So one of the organizations that we've been able to connect with this year is Acton in Africa, which Mr. Fink kind of helps work at. And they try to educate kids not just on the basics like math and reading and writing, but really that they can become leaders of their communities and geniuses in their communities, and really that every contribution they make is necessary if they really put themselves out there, and they can change society.
And that's based in Uganda.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say that. It's based in Uganda.
So then
Then we have Resilience Rising, and actually one of our classmates' moms helps run it, and it's based here in Denver, and basically what they've been able to do is create this safe house for human trafficked girls, and they've created this family vibe there where these girls can feel loved and that they're part of a community.
and safe.
And safe, yeah.
Yeah, and so these other 3 nonprofits we've met with, we've had meetings with, but we couldn't exactly contribute something or couldn't really collaborate with them, but they were really mind-opening to us and helped us realize more situations in the world that need to be fixed, and it showed us that there's lots of nonprofits that need help, and just really that there are change makers in the world. And also through Capstone Project, I learn best through experience. So with Capstone Project, I was allowed to miss 3 weeks of school, and I went to Nepal with my dad. And there we did some humanitarian work, doing service in villages and at schools and orphanages. So that was an amazing experience to help me serve, but also be served myself, because they taught me that there's so much joy even when we don't have all this material, kind of like affluenza. And then we got to hike to base camp of Mount Everest. So really I learned through experience, and Capstone allowed me to do that.
What are those last three?
Oh, yeah.
What do they do?
So UNA USA talks about over 13 or 7, I forget. They talk about like the main problems in the world, and they help organize nonprofits to work
like
on
hunger,
Yeah.
cancer, disease.
Yeah. There's like, I'll show you a picture after. I think
Okay.
I have.
Yeah.
And then
the goal.
Edge of Seven is based in Nepal, so that I picked that because I was going to Nepal, and they help build schools and support children there. And AfricAid, Macy researched that more.
Yeah, AfricAid is kind of like, it was developed by the 16-year-old girl,
Yeah.
which was really kind of inspirational for us to hear about, because I mean, like, it's a younger girl, and so are we, so it was kind of cool to see that there's other girls out there, like, starting this. And yeah, I kind of forgot what they do, because it's been a while since we've been able to connect with them, but
Yeah.
And tell them about what you did with Resilience Rising.
Oh, we
Oh,
will.
yeah,
Oh.
from this
It's all
one.
here. So these are some of the contributions we've made or are planning to make.
So the first one is with Action in Africa, and we actually just got the template for this yesterday. But basically what we're going to be doing is developing our own art curriculum. So basically every day after school, like around 100 kids will come and do these art lessons. These are Ugandan kids. And they've had the same art curriculum for several years now. So what Megan and I are planning to do is almost like create our own art lessons for these kids. And both Megan and I have like a passion for the arts and kids as well. So we're really excited to start this specifically. And then the next one is really cool. We did this last November, and in November was Homeless Youth Awareness Month. So what we did was we did these jar challenges, or penny wars, and what we did was we put jars in each one of our classrooms, and we asked the kids to bring in spare change and raise up this money. And within 3 weeks, we were able to raise over $2,000, which was really unexpected for us, because we were like, yeah, just bring in pennies. And they started bringing in like $100 bills and checks. And it was really
Wow.
cool for us
Yeah.
to see. And then we ended up,
That's a lot of pennies.
yeah. And then we ended up giving half of it to Resilience Rising, and we're still trying to decide and determine what we should use the rest of the money for.
Yeah. So then during that month, since it was Homeless Awareness Month, Macy and I came up with the question, should we give money to the homeless? So, well, what do you think about giving money to the homeless?
I think it's one way to help the homeless. There's probably more impactful ways
Yeah.
of using that money for the homeless.
Yeah, so Macy and I developed a survey, and we went to a Denver Rescue Mission, and I got to interview a few people asking, like, what's more valuable, money or time and acknowledgement. And I had this cool conversation with this man named James, and he talked about how homeless is really just a state of mind, and how we can be really rich but feel homeless in our hearts, and that just acknowledging others is so much more helpful than giving them some money or just like throwing a care package out the window at them. Just acknowledging them and letting them know that they're noticed is so much more impactful. So then for our last contribution, I talked about Edge of Seven. It's based in Nepal. So we went to a fundraiser for them, and they talked about different projects they're up to, and that was really meaningful to me because I was just there and helping with children. So
Is that 7 referencing the 8,000 meter peaks?
no,
Or what is that
well,
referencing?
they're starting to they're trying to start spreading to every continent.
Okay.
So, and they're on that, right now they're on the edge of Nepal. So it's like on the edge of Nepal, so edge of 7, and they're starting to move around to the 7.
Okay, got it.
So that's what we're doing, and
So kind of overall, Capstone has been super influential to both of us so far. Really the main thing is we're able to take our inquiry, since it's an inquiry-based school, to almost new depths in a way and put it into action. And what another big part about Capstone is we're able to help others through what we're passionate for, and that's really through like the Action in Africa piece. Like we're both really, really passionate for kids, and we also love art, so we're able to help those kids through something that we love to do. And then I'm going to go back to our motto, which is the connect, collaborate, and contribute. So we're just trying to connect with as many people we can and help out and contribute in any ways.
yeah, so that's what we are.
Yeah.